Hi everyone, this is Hardik from fuzzing.in. Thank you for watching my videos. In my last video, we have seen about libfail fork server based fuzzer, and we have also seen how can we fuzz our damn vulnerable C program using fork server based fuzzer. So in this video, we are going to see how can we modify our damn vulnerable C program as well as our fork server based fuzzer to use shared memory mode so that we can get some performance improvement on that. We will start with a whiteboard session. So let's start. So let us first understand how does a normal fuzzer works, and then we will see what are the issues with that and how can we overcome that. So as you can see on the screen, in case of normal fuzzing, what happens is that we have our fuzzer process, and what this fuzzer process will do is that it will mutate our input file which we provide as a seed corpus or which it takes from the queue, and then it will write the mutated input to the disk, right, like over here. And for writing on the disk, it needs to do a lot of disk IO operation which are very costly, and they affect the performance because every time you want to use one input, you want to feed one input to your first program, you need to read the data from the disk, and when you generate a new input, you need to write the data to the disk. So that is a very costly thing because it actually depends on the disk read and writing speed, so that will affect your fuzzer performance. And when the newly generated input has been written on the disk, what the first program will do is that it will read again the data from the disk. So for that, again it to do a lot of disk IO operation, and then it will read the data from the disk. It will use this data, and then if any crash or any new code path will be found, then it will process accordingly. So here the fuzzing speed is depend on the disk, right? Whatever disk read and writing speed you have, it's going to affect your fuzzing campaign speed. And in case of this, as we discussed, there are a lot of disk operation that will be required over here to write the newly generated test cases on the disk, as well as to read the test cases from the disk. And this can easily lead to disk failure if you are using some disk like SATA or something, and if you are doing a lot of disk operation, there are chances that down the line your disk will cause a failure, your disk will fail, you need to change your disk, and obviously it will affect your performance because entire campaign performance is depending on the disk IO. So to overcome this, what we can do is that we can use a concept called shared memory mode. So if we remove this disk IO related thing, and if instead of this, if we simply write our test cases to a shared memory, say inside a RAM, and if the first program can read this data from the RAM, then that will considerably improve our fuzzing speed because we don't need to do any disk IO operation, and reading and writing from RAM or from a shared memory is very fast. So that will improve our fuzzing campaign speed greatly. So now let us see how does shared memory mode work. So here you can see that we have a fuzzer, and instead of writing all the test cases to the disk, what it will do is that it will create one shared memory over here. And this shared memory is nothing but it is like, say, utilizing your RAM to write some test case and read the test case from there. And once it writes the test cases to the shared memory, what the first program can do is that it can read the data from the shared memory. So you will notice that here there is no disk IO operation involved. So only thing required here is to write the test cases to the shared memory and read the test cases from there. So it will greatly enhance your fuzzing speed, and that will actually improve the fuzzing speed of your overall fuzzing campaign. So in case of shared memory mode, you need to read the test case from the memory instead of disk. So your file based IO will not work over here. You need to change your fuzzing harness or your first program. You need to tweak it a bit so that it reads the test case from the memory instead of reading it from the disk from a file. And similarly, your fuzzer also need to support this thing where it can write the test cases to the shared memory instead of disk. So if your fuzzer and if your fuzz program supports the reading and writing from shared memory, then that will greatly enhance your fuzzing campaign's performance, and you will see a lot of performance improvement in your fuzzing campaign. So with that, let us see how can we use shared memory mode in DAM vulnerable C program, and how can we modify our libfail fork server based fuzzer to use shared memory instead of disk corpus. So let's go and see. So for this, what I have done is that I have created a copy of our DAM vulnerable C program. I will be posting it on my GitHub, and I will give the link on the description section of this video so that you can download, you can git clone that, and you can use it your own. You don't need to do anything. So I have made very few changes to the actual fuzzer, and I need to make some changes to our imgread.c, that is our DAM vulnerable C program as well. So first we are going to see what are the changes I have made to our libafl based fuzzer. So first thing is that I decided to use AFL++ over here because I'm not very sure if the vanilla AFL support this shared memory mode. So you need to install AFL++ on your system. If you don't have, you can simply go to AFL++ GitHub repo, you can clone it and you can compile that. You can actually go to my previous videos if you are not comfortable with how to install AFL++ on your system. So I'm assuming that you have installed AFL++ on your system and you have AFL-CC like this on your system installed, because this is what we are going to use in this video. So let us see the build.rs, and you will notice that this file is similar to the last file which I have shown in my last video, which is libafl fork server based fuzzer. Only thing I have made over here is that instead of using AFL GCC, I'm using AFL CC. So this is a compiler from AFL++, and it supports the tag which we are going to use for shared memory, and that I will be discussing after this. And rest everything is same. So you can see that our argument over here is app sanitizer is equal to address and undefined, which means that we are enabling address sanitizer and undefined behavior sanitizer. Then this is the source file name which we are compiling, and this is actually the DAM vulnerable C program. Then -o, and we are giving the path where the compiled file will be saved. So it will be saved in target release and as a imgread file. So rest everything is same. I have not made any other change over here, so I will just wait. And now I will also show you what changes I need to make to get the shared memory stuff working for my DAM vulnerable C program. So let us open imgread.c, and I will walk you through the code first. So there is a main function which expects two argument, argc, argv, then it calls process image function with argv, that is the file name. So in this case I have modified that, so it will not use the file name. And inside the process image function, what it does is that it uses a AFL specific tag, that is _AFL_fuzz_testcase_buffer. So this is the buffer, this is the shared memory buffer where actually libafl fuzzer will write the test case data, and from this memory, this shared memory, our program will read the data and it will process it further over here. Like you can see that I am simply taking the length of the data over here using string length, and I am checking if buffer size is less than 12, then the program will simply return. This is because I want to make sure that the data which we received from our fuzzer at least contains this header, width and height. So if it contains this 3 byte, then only it should go further. If it doesn't contain this entire data like header, if it only contains header, then it's no use, because there is no operation which are being performed in our program going forward. And also one more thing you will notice over here is that I have used one function which is _AFL_fuzz_init. So this is a function which actually tells our fuzzer that this harness is using shared memory mode. So you need to write all the test cases to the shared memory, and you need to read the first program will read the test case from the shared memory. So these two change you need to make. First thing is that at the start of your program, you need to add this AFL specific, you need to call this AFL specific function, that is underscore AFL underscore fuzz underscore int. And the second thing is that you need to read all the data from this buffer, that is present in underscore AFL underscore fuzz underscore test case underscore buffer. And now here you will notice that I am converting this buffer data, which is actually just a byte, so I need to convert it into the img structure over here, right? Then only I can use it. So for that I am simply doing it casting over here. Like I have simply converted it to struct img pointer shmem underscore buffer. After that you will notice that I need to remove that while loop which we have been using in our previous program, because this is a simple buffer and we can straightforward, we can use the data instead of file. So in case of file we can keep reading the data inside a while loop, but since we are using a shared memory, I simply remove that. So you will notice that instead of image dot width, I am using this image arrow width. This is because it is a pointer to a structure, and to access any member we need to use this arrow instead of using a dot. So if you are comfortable with libfuzzer, what you can do is that you can copy this code from here. Like I am doing the same thing, you can copy this img read underscore libfuzzer.c code, and you can copy this code and you can paste it over here like this inside the process image function. Only difference over here is that we are not using llvm is one input function over here, we are using process image function as mentioned over here. So otherwise I'm already going to keep this in my GitHub repo, so you can simply download this and you can run your fuzzer. So in this you can notice that I simply change dot to arrow because I'm accessing a structure variable over here, and that is the only change I have made over here. So rest everything is same, and these are the changes you need to make if you want to use shared memory mode. So let us go ahead and build our fuzzer. So to build our fuzzer, we can simply type this command, that is cargo build release. It will actually build. Let me do one thing, I will do cargo clean and we will build it from the scratch. So okay, it will take few seconds, we need to wait for that. Okay, so you can see that we have created a release build of this, and to run this, what we can do is that we can type this command, it is cargo run release, and let's see what happens. So here you can see that we are getting a message that using shared memory fuzzing feature. It means that our shared memory stuff is working fine, and the execution speed we are getting is around 2819 or so. And one thing you will notice is that we are not getting any crash. So if you see the objective over here, it is coming as 0. You will see that our corpus is increasing, but the objectives are coming as 0. So it means that there is no crash which has been found. So why is that? If you remember our old videos, we are missing one option over here, and that is because we have not given asyn option. Since we have used address sanitizer and undefined behavior sanitizer, we need to give this option, that is asyn of underscore option is equal to about on error is equal to 1, and then we can run it. And now let's see what happens. So as soon as we give this option, you can see that we are getting a message that shared memory fuzzing, using shared memory fuzzing feature, and our objectives are increasing now. It means that our fuzzer is able to find some crashes in that. So it means that our fuzzer is working, it is using the shared memory mode. You can see that the speed we are getting, it is now varying from like 36 execution per second to 67, 70, like that. So this is because my system is a bit slow. I'm running a virtual machine. I am capturing the video and a lot more stuff is going on, so that's why I'm getting this slow speed. But on your system you will get more speed than this. So you can see that so far there are total 5 file corpus, 3 crashes actually, and I think this is enough. So we can stop this fuzzer now. And only issue we will face over here, if you remember, is that since we have removed all the file handling code from our fuzzer, right, we are not reading the data from the file. The challenge is to replicate this crash. So for that, what you can do is that you can use our old fork server based fuzzer, or you can simply compile imgread.c program. You can generate one executable and you can feed these crashes and you can replicate that crash. So what we can do over here is that we can actually use our imgread.c program. We will compile that and we can try to replicate this crash. So for that, let us go to our GitHub repo, that is github.com/hardx05/damn-vulnerable-c program, and we can simply copy this imgread.c file and we can create a new file over here. So let's paste the content, and now we can compile this. So let me rename it as a replication. Okay, so we have this file compiled, and now what we can do, we can use our this newly compiled file to replicate all the crashes. So target release imgread_replication, and so let us take one crash and try to replicate that and see if we are able to get any crash with our replication program. So okay, I think we got one crash over here, and it is actually a heap buffer overflow. It seems to be inside memcopy function. It is at line 87 over here. So let us see our program and go to line 87. Okay, over here. So here is a memcopy call. It is trying to copy img.data to buffer 4, and buffer 4 has been allocated using malloc call, and it is of size 3, and size 3 has been calculated, as you can see over here, is dividing image width by image height. So whatever result you get, that will be stored in size 3, and based on that, a malloc call, it will allocate the memory. And so the root cause seems to be that this size 3 size is very small compared to img.data, and that's why it is causing a crash. So this is what leading to our heap buffer overflow over here. So this is how you can modify your libaffail fork server based fuzzer to use shared memory mode, and I will recommend to use shared memory mode whenever possible. I hope that this video has given you a general idea of how can you use shared memory mode and what are the benefits compared to normal disk IO based fuzzers. Please subscribe, like and share my channel. That will motivate me to create more such videos. Enjoy your holidays, and if you have any comments, questions or suggestions, feel free to post in the comment section of YouTube video, or feel free to reach me out on the Twitter. Thank you, goodbye, enjoy.